I'll hold her. Come here, little one. Oh, you act like I'm gonna kill you. Every day she does that.
How old is pretty girl?
13.
Oh, she's old.
Yeah. All right, you go sleep. No, you're not. I grew up in Falls City, North Bend, Snoqualmie area. That's I don't know if you know where the area is, but it's a logging community at the time. Weyerhaeuser was the main employer. It was a rural area, and you knew as soon as you got out of high school, you were going to get a job at Weyerhaeuser. You knew it. That was a given.
And so what did you do for Weyerhaeuser?
I ran the hog. Yeah, you know what a hog is, right? Anyhow, the hog is where when it used to be a large mill operation, okay? It's not these little tinky trees now. It was a large logs, okay? When they cut the bark and sides off, there's not much to do with it but grind it up and make it paper out of it. Well, the paper mill was down here in the Aberdeen area, and the mill in Snoqualmie was not. And they didn't want to truck it, so they railed it out. And so we chipped it up. That's what the hog did, made chips out of it, and they put in the rail cars, and then they run it down here to hit the paper mill in Aberdeen. My dad was a logger, then he worked in the mill, in a plywood mill, as a layup operator. And I don't know if you know what that is. That's a big machine where they run the veneer through and they layer it up. And you have to work backwards with your hands. You look in the mirror and you're backwards. It's coordination time is different. But he did it all day long.
And those were union jobs?
They were union jobs, yes. In fact, I can remember the time my dad was talking about going on a strike because one guy in another mill down in, I think it was actually Raymond, I can't remember for sure. He got fired for, it was a joke of a statement for firing him because they didn't like him. All the warehouse places went shut down on that strike. So
it's incredible.
we don't have that. We don't have that capacity anymore. It's the big corporations and the rich have scared people about their jobs, and that's how come they bully them. Our forests are not forests. I mean, if they're private owned property, been logged off once or twice already, they're not a forest, they're a plantation. Let's call it what it is. It's not a forest anymore. Down here, the woods are closed to the public. You can't go anywhere near it. The private, we're not letting you on my land. And then they turn around and they just strip it clear. And you can drive along, you can see where it's stripped out. Well, right now they got a thing called a filler buncher, all right? And it's a machine that goes in and kind of cuts the bottom up, picks up and strips the limbs off and chops it into the lengths going to fit into the truck, and then off it goes to the mill. That used to be, Jesus, the choker setter, the highland setter, the people, all those people. There were 7 or 8 jobs gone when they mechanized that job just for that part I just explained. Now, I'm not begrudging the people who are logging because they need a job, and it's a job.
Yeah.
But what I'm begrudging is it's not a union job. Okay, it should be a union job with the benefits of a union job. Yeah, gypsy loggers or gyppo, they're both the same word, but what it works is I pay you so much and that's it. Nothing about medical. There's nothing about job security, and there's nothing about if you get injured, you're going to have a job when you get back.
It's just on contract.
Just on contract, that's it.
Yeah.
Make the most profit I can, and I don't care about the rest.
Yeah.
We don't care about society. We don't care about the land. We don't care about the environment. We just want that short-term profit, and that's the way American corporations run on everything.
What did you like most about growing up in Falls City?
Summertime, we could go down to the Raging River. You know where that is?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah, we could go to the Raging River and just swim we went all day long, and we could pick blackberries. We could run around, the doors are unlocked, but the only thing bad about it was your neighbors knew where you were. Even if your dad was working like swing shift like he was, everybody knew what I was doing. And it got, so it was good. It was a close community action, okay? You know, I can remember both the 50s and the 60s. And there used to be community centers in the rural communities, all right? Now, what I mean by that, there used to be a swimming pool, a gym we could go to play in. It was government funded, okay? And it didn't cost you a damn thing. We didn't care what your income was. It was open to the public. We don't do anything like that anymore. Mass transit around here is a little crappy. I mean, if I want to go to Aberdeen, I have to catch a bus at 6 o'clock in the morning, get there at 8 because it has to run all the way around the South Beach and back to Westport again and up there. And then if I am lucky, I could catch the one back by 10, but if I don't want anything done, I have to walk. It's basically a 6 to 7 hour trip for a half hour's worth of work.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah. Why do you think we don't have so many public programs anymore?
Well, it is the rich. We know it is. The money is not being paid into the programs because that means that money that the state of Washington and the federal government turns around and gives them tax breaks. That's how they get their tax breaks. If the money is not needed for social or social programs, let's just say it that way, then that money's sitting in the piggy bank, and that piggy bank says, hey, we'll give the rich, the corporations and the rich people a tax break, and maybe they'll give me money to my political campaign. And anybody wants to tell me different, they're crazy. I was drafted in the military.
Oh, you were drafted?
Yes, I was drafted in the military.
And what year was that?
71.
And then what happened? Where'd you go?
Navy. I was one of the few who actually got drafted in the Navy, but that's okay.
What did you've told me a bit about just like traveling the world so much in the military, like how that impacted you.
I've seen a lot of cultures. I've seen cultures in Africa. I've seen cultures in the Middle East. I've seen cultures in the Far East. I've seen Central America, South America. And there's a lot of poor people in this world. I'm just going to flat tell you. We have a lot of poor people. Again, it's not that they need to be that way. It's because of, if you're going to give people like Elon all the money, then that money he's hoarding should be utilized somewhere else. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm proud of what I served. I'm proud of the people who are serving now. I give them 110% credit for what they're doing. It's not easy. It's not easy to be away from family if you're 18 years old. It's not easy to be deployed to areas that you have no concept of what the culture's like.
Do you feel like our country takes care of veterans?
We're starting to pay attention, but not to the degree they should. I mean, it was still, you still got to fight to get into the VA system, and it shouldn't be. It should be automatic. I should not have to prove that I need this, okay?
Yeah.
I should say, well, thanks for your service. Here's what you're qualified for. Here's what you get. There's a lot of people, vets out here, who don't even apply for it because they feel that they pass and got the runaround. Now you could get qualified, but they just give up. They don't even try.
Yeah.
In the real heavy rains, this shows up.
When was this house built?
Oh, this is 83.
How long do you think this house was meant to last for?
20 years, probably.
Yeah.
It's 40 years roughly.
Yeah.
Even if they're old, the price of mobile homes are going way up, way up.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's amazing. You can notice the windows are shot, right? This is just an attempt to hide. You can see the moisture even from last night.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
And that sweats and that destroys all
Can
the
you
seal.
stick your hand in it again there?
What? It's just water.
Yeah.
That's all from last night.
Just last night. I left it there so you could see it.
Yeah.
It really, that was just a short period of time. On a real wintertime, real cold day, it drains.
Yeah.
Normally I have towels there, but I wanted to show you, so I left it. But again, all that plastic is to keep that window from sweating.
Uh-huh.
And cold drafts and the whole nine. In fact, all my windows are plastic up in the wintertime so I can keep the sweating down and
Right.
the mildew down,
Yeah.
because they do mildew. So the windows are shot, obviously.
Yeah.
Insulation, yeah.
It's not. Is it kind of insulated or no?
There's a little bit in there, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, these weren't not made, like you said, they were not made for long-term housing. Yeah.
What do you use for heat?
Well, expensive. I got this infrared, but it doesn't work really too well in the wintertime.
Uh-huh.
I use kerosene. Kerosene is about $17 a gallon. It takes about 2 gallons a day.
Oh, that's so expensive.
Add it up. It adds up heavy. So.
Can you tell about some of the work you've done on this place? 'Cause you've
Well,
done
I
a lot
worked
of
on the
work.
roof a couple times, but it's galvanized steel, and you know, eventually all steel rust. Well, it's at the 40-year age where it's rusting out now. So there's not much I can do other than recoat it again, and that's all I can do. And I'll have to spend $300, $400, $500 this year just for the roof again right now.
And how much would it be to re-roof it?
Oof, you're looking at a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're not talking cheap. This is, see, her roof was like mine, round. It is no longer round. And that right there, that's before the inflation, okay? And that was $4,000. So you could look at $6,000, $7,000 just to do the same thing.
Have you ever like tried to get any support with getting a new furnace or anything like that?
Nope.
Now, how come?
Pride, I guess. I guess. I never asked for assistance in my life, and I really don't want to ask for assistance. Even though I'm in the age group, I might need to qualify.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Pride.
What does it say about, like, what are you worried it would say about you if you asked for assistance?
Failure. You know, I mean, you know, and I'm not the only senior person that's going to feel that way, to be honest with you. There's a lot of senior people who don't want to ask for assistance. Yet they're in worse shape than I am.
Yeah.
There's some people who don't even turn heat on in the wintertime.
You said that you would feel like a failure, which I think a lot of people feel. That
Right.
If you ask for assistance, like, I should have made it on my own.
Right.
Do you, when you see other people getting assistance, do you think they are failures?
No, maybe they're in a bit worse situation than I am.
Or maybe they're even in the same situation.
Or a better situation.
Or better. And maybe they still deserve help sometime.
Yeah. Well, it depends on your personal situation. And the reason why I'm not putting the money into this place is because I'm paying for my sister's medical care. And that's a lot of money each month out of my pocket. And you know, it's $800 a month out of my pocket every month. Only reason I like it here, first of all, I don't think I could find a cheaper place to live anyway, as rent-wise.
Yeah.
And that's still $430 a month now.
Yeah.
And it's going up.
Yeah.
And I bet next year it goes up again.
Yeah.
He will, if he gets an increase in his power bill or water bill, our rent goes up, period, in the subsidy line.
Why do you think you need assistance? Do you actually think it's because you failed at something?
No, I think it's inflation, to be honest with you right now. To be honest with you, I think a couple things the government has done in the past, federal and state, but mainly the federal level, given the super rich all the money. And, you know, during my lifetime I've worked, I really never got a pay raise. Wages went flat. And it stayed flat until after I retired. And now we're talking about maybe giving a little pay raise to people. Well, I retired on that kind of income, which means my wages, even as retirement, are flat.
Why do you think we're divided?
If you blame the Jewish faith, or if you blame the African Americans or the Hispanic for all the problems, then you got an excuse to be racial. You got an excuse to be a white supremacist. You got an excuse to be hateful.
And why, if we're divided, who benefits from
The
that?
rich do. I mean, they could keep us divided. We could fight among ourselves. We're not working together to make them pay their fair share of taxes. We're not paying, they're not spending any money for social needs.
In your ideal world, like what would your neighborhood or your community feel like?
In an ideal world, everybody had a home that was paid for. You know what I mean? Everybody would have a decent school to go to. You wouldn't have to worry about locking up your house. You wouldn't have to worry about homeless people. You know, and if they were homeless, there would be a program in place for medical needs to help them. We wouldn't be divided, okay? We would understand our needs. We could all identify our needs. And maybe we would elect the right people to offices, political offices, to support our needs.